Hello and welcome to Spoken English Academy. Today we're exploring an incredibly powerful and transformative topic: learning to forgive. For many of us, forgiveness can be a difficult and complicated concept. Often, the idea of letting go of past hurts seems impossible, especially when we've been deeply hurt. Yet, forgiveness is one of the most liberating choices we can make. In this episode, we'll talk about why forgiveness is essential for personal growth, healing, and peace of mind. We'll look at how forgiveness isn't about forgetting or excusing hurtful actions, but rather about freeing ourselves from the pain and allowing room for inner peace. By the end of this episode, I hope you'll feel empowered to begin your own journey of forgiveness so that you can live a life free from anger and resentment. So let's dive into this topic and learn what it truly means to forgive. Let's talk about the importance of forgiveness. Forgiveness is often described as a gift we give ourselves. While it might seem that forgiveness is for the benefit of the other person, it actually brings a sense of peace and freedom to our own lives. When we hold on to anger and resentment, we allow these negative emotions to occupy space in our minds and hearts. These feelings can become a burden that weighs us down and stops us from experiencing true happiness. Consider forgiveness as a release, a way to free ourselves from the past. By forgiving, we are not saying that what happened was acceptable or right. Rather, we're choosing not to let it control us anymore. When we forgive, we take back our power, allowing ourselves to move forward without being tied to the weight of past hurts. Imagine forgiveness as a bridge that leads us to a more peaceful place. A bridge we can only cross if we are willing to let go of the anger and pain we carry. Let's understand what forgiveness is and what it isn't. Many people struggle with forgiveness because they believe it means condoning or excusing someone's hurtful behavior. But forgiveness is not about forgetting or approving of wrong actions. Instead, it's about acknowledging the hurt, accepting it, and then choosing to let go of the negative emotions connected to it. Forgiveness doesn't mean allowing others to continue hurting us, nor does it require us to rebuild relationships that are unhealthy. Forgiveness is something we do for our own well-being. It allows us to release the anger, bitterness, and resentment that can build up inside, affecting our emotional and physical health. Think of forgiveness as an act of self-love. It's a way of saying, I deserve to be free from the past. When we forgive, we prioritize our peace and happiness above the wrong that was done to us. This shift in perspective can be incredibly liberating. Remember, forgiveness is not a weakness. It is one of the strongest and most compassionate acts we can undertake. Holding on to grudges and resentment can feel like holding a heavy weight. The more we focus on the wrongs we've experienced, the more we allow those experiences to define us. When we constantly relive the pain of past hurts, we give power to the people or events that caused that pain, allowing them to impact our lives long after the moment has passed. Studies have shown that holding on to anger and resentment can have negative effects on our health. Stress, anxiety, and even physical ailments can be linked to unresolved negative emotions. By holding grudges, we imprison ourselves in the past, denying ourselves the opportunity to experience joy in the present. So, if you're holding on to resentment, ask yourself, is this serving me? Is this helping me grow or heal? Often the answer is no. Forgiveness is a way to free yourself from this weight. Let's learn the steps to begin forgiving. Forgiveness is a journey, and it often doesn't happen overnight. Here are some steps that can help guide you toward letting go of past hurts. Firstly, acknowledge the pain. The first step in forgiveness is recognizing and accepting the pain that someone's actions caused. Denying or ignoring the hurt will only bury it deeper, where it may grow into resentment. Be honest with yourself about how you feel. Allow yourself to fully experience these emotions without judgment. Secondly, reflect on the situation. Take time to reflect on what happened and why it caused you pain. This step isn't about blaming anyone, but rather understanding the source of your feelings. Reflection can help us gain perspective and recognize that sometimes people act out of their own pain or struggles. Thirdly, empathize with the other person. This step may be difficult, but try to see the situation from the other person's perspective. Sometimes, people hurt others because they are hurting themselves. By empathizing, we can begin to understand that others' actions often stem from their own unresolved issues, not because we deserved to be hurt. Fourthly, release the need for apologies or explanations. Many people struggle to forgive because they feel they need an apology or an explanation to move on. However, waiting for this can keep us trapped. Forgiveness is an internal process, and it doesn't depend on others' actions. Decide to let go for your own sake, regardless of whether the other person seeks forgiveness. And finally, choose to forgive. Forgiveness is a conscious choice. It may take time, but when you feel ready, make the choice to forgive. This decision may need to be reaffirmed daily, especially if the pain resurfaces. But with time, forgiveness becomes easier, and the hold that anger once had on you begins to fade. Each step is a small act of letting go, bringing you closer to inner peace and freedom. Let's dive into another section, which is forgiving yourself. Forgiveness isn't only about others. It's also about forgiving ourselves. Sometimes we hold ourselves to impossibly high standards, expecting perfection and punishing ourselves when we fall short. Self-forgiveness is crucial for growth and happiness. When we forgive ourselves, we allow room for healing and personal development. To forgive yourself, start by recognizing that everyone makes mistakes. It's a part of being human. Just as you would show compassion to a friend who made a mistake, offer that same kindness to yourself. Acknowledge your regrets, but don't dwell on them. Learn from them and use those lessons to become a better person. Forgiving yourself is one of the most freeing things you can do. It allows you to move forward with a renewed sense of self-worth and confidence. As we wrap up today's episode on learning to forgive, remember that forgiveness is a journey, not a destination. It's a process that requires patience, compassion, and courage. By forgiving, we're not erasing the past, but we're choosing to move forward with peace, leaving behind the burdens of anger and resentment. Thank you for joining me on Spoken English Academy today. I hope this discussion has inspired you to take steps towards forgiveness in your own life. Letting go is a gift that you give to yourself, a gift that opens the door to a more peaceful, fulfilling life. If you enjoyed today's episode, please like, subscribe, and share it with someone who might need a little encouragement. Until next time, stay compassionate, stay courageous, and remember that you have the power to choose peace